Childcare reform. The government want it, but more importantly, working parents in Australia desperately need it. Labor, though, something's got to give.
B is for barely bloody worth it. For mums like Leyonhjelm, the cost of childcare almost defeats the purpose of working.
I work 3 days a week. I barely have a cent to my name at the end of it once I've paid everything else. I don't know how parents that work full-time can manage it.
A and D spells and. And Leah's not alone.
I have a lot of friends who have been leaving their kids with their grandparents now because it's cheaper than paying childcare fees.
A is for adjustments. Luckily for those poor grandparents, the government wants to make some changes, increasing the childcare rebate as part of a $3 billion overhaul. The new system will be means tested, so families earning more than $340,000 will have at most 20% of their childcare costs covered, while families earning less than $65,000 will have 85% of their childcare costs covered.
We know that many Australian families struggle when it comes to childcare prices. That is why we want to fix the broken childcare model that is in place.
Let's be clear. It's not perfect. It'll be paid for with cuts to the family tax benefit, and low-income families with a stay-at-home parent will also suffer. But it's still an improvement. Try telling that to Labor, though.
We've identified the concerns we have about the childcare package, which will leave 1 in 3 families worse off, and it's up to the government to address those concerns.
I is for inflexible. Labor are being pretty stubborn. So what gives? Increasing the rebate for a majority of families would be great, but there's another problem. Demand for childcare places is spiralling out of control, and when demand increases, so do costs.
We see that childcare fees are set to rise by up to 22% over the next few years.
D is for demand. The amount of children requiring childcare is set to grow by 300,000 over the next 3 years. So unless we figure out a way to get more people into the industry to care for those kids, increasing rebates starts to look like a band-aid solution.
Well, Education Minister Simon Birmingham was unable to talk to us tonight. Senator David Leyonhjelm, though, may hold the decisive vote in this reform package if it gets to the upper house. He joins us now. Senator, will you support this bill if it's in its current form?
Not without amendment, no. It's going to cost an extra $3 billion to the budget. You know, we can't afford that. We've got to be reducing expenditure, not increasing it. The way they're going about it is to increase the subsidy to low-income people, but they're also maintaining the childcare subsidy for people on very high income. I'd cut it off completely at somewhere around $195,000, $200,000. But the other thing that I would do is wind back the regulations affecting childcare and also family daycare.
What do you mean by winding back the regulation, Senator? What would you propose?
Well, apart from the fact you want to make sure there aren't any pedophiles involved, you've got, you have to have credentials these days to be a childcare worker. A lot of women, mostly women, used to look after kids in childcare centres, and then they brought in this national quality framework, and they had to go and get a Certificate 3 in childcare in order to continue doing the job that they were doing. You know, wiping noses and stopping the kids from killing each other. A lot of women just quit. The ones who had Certificate 3s or got Certificate 3s said, OK, I want more pay now that I'm more qualified. All we did was drive up the costs because of this credentialism.
Can I jump in? I think a lot of people who work in childcare watching this would be offended that you think they're just wiping noses and stopping the kids from killing each other. I mean, this is a very tough job that they do.
Yes, it is, but there are an awful lot of people who are very good at it, but they didn't need a piece of paper, a certificate, to say they were very good at it. And I don't think we corrected any errors, any problems, any deficiencies adversely affecting the kids when we brought in that national quality framework.
What evidence do you have that we didn't improve?
Well, I haven't read any. The Centre for Independent Studies has looked into this and said The only change has been this credentialism.
Just to clarify, what's your vision? Like, do you see a bunch of 30 kids on a leash drinking out of a saucer while the grandpa watches? Like, what? Can you give me the picture?
No, not at all. The kids obviously.
Are there leashes? We need to know. We need this definitive.
Yeah. All on leashes tied to the clothesline in the backyard, you mean? Yes. No. I don't see any reduction in childcare standards. There are plenty of people, mums mostly, who are very, very good at looking after kids, but they don't want to go and invest 18 months in getting a certificate to prove they know how to look after kids. That's really what the issue is about.
Senator, I think we need to leave you to go and procure some leashes. Senator David Leyonhjelm, thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure.
George?